This video is about a method of finding potential short trades in HGSI. Now in my groups for my Insider Club, and by the way, this is Ron Brown, I keep track of the top 50 group inclusion reports both for the long and short side. I've been doing this for a couple of months now, and you can see that in April I have my top 50. The top 50 stocks are pulled from what we call smart groups, and the stocks which appear most often are going to appear in the top 50. That is in the smart groups which I select. And the short side is just the reverse of that. So these are stocks from this morning, which would be well, the date today is the 28th, so these are from the 27th, as you can see. Now, what I do is I use the same process for both long and short side on the top 50. And I'm using the small icons in the designer portion of HGSI. I click on the group inclusion report, and this opens up a window. I'm going to clear everything. Now, if you're a member of the Insider Club, you can, and if you've updated your files, if you load the selection, you're going to have two options here. The top option is the top 50 group inclusion report to the long side, and the second one, the 1B, is the short side top 50. Now, I'm going to open that by selecting Open. It loads 187 groups, and most of those are industry groups, but the smart groups that are selected are in the green folders. Now I'll just run down through these. This is under Woodward and Brown. I'll go to the top here, sorry. Under Dave Steckler, there's PZO bearish, price zone oscillator, and volume zone oscillator. Those are both bearish. Those are included. The W&B box stocks moving down is included. The potential short sale stocks based upon the force indexes is included. The stocks and groups moving to the downside, both the regular group and the stocks priced from $1 to $15, they're both included in that. And then supply short term, negative earnings growth is included. And then under Jeff Scott, breakdown from squeeze and mobile breakdown are included. And then the PSAR reversal to the downside is included. And under Morales and Kasser, code red, which is negative pocket pivots, that's included. And then, of course, the industry groups up here, these are all selected, and that's part of the process. So all I do, once I've loaded the selection, as I make a group from the report, I put them in the same folder. This is what I used this morning. For yesterday's data, the number of securities is 50. I'll just go ahead and make the group again. It'll just go right in here, and it'll have a number 1 after it. So I have a group inclusion report for the long side and one for the short side. I'll just go ahead and replace that. And it's going to make the group for me. And you can see that it appeared right here. I will delete that when I finish. Let me bring this into view. And you can see that these are the stocks which appeared most often after yesterday's close. And this is what I was talking about. You can actually see the industry group and the PZO, VZO bearish, potential short sale stocks, stocks and groups moving to the downside, breakdown from squeeze, and mobile breakdown. And the symbol here is EQT. Let's just go take a look at that. So if I come down to EQT, here it is right here. I'll bring up a chart. And you can see that this was the day when the signal was generated. And this is the follow through today. So even after yesterday's big down move, there was further downside selling. And you can see that the volume yesterday was extremely heavy. The group was going down. The volume point of control had turned negative on this day right here. This was actually setting up. It looked pretty bullish until I'm sure earnings came out, probably an earnings event. Let's just open this up and you can see that they reported yesterday on the 27th. That information is up here. And there's follow through. Now, not all of these stocks are going to be down today. I know that, even though it's a weak market day, because some of these stocks are extremely oversold. But when I bring them up in my view, and let's go to the, I'll just go to my scorecard view, and I'm sorted on raw combo. And with this view, I've attached, and these are new files that are coming out tomorrow. I've attached strong momentum intraday, and you can see that many of these stocks, which were down yesterday, and by the way, look over here at this scorecard area. You can see that these stocks as a group have very poor scorecard numbers. And as I said earlier, a lot of these are going to be oversold, and they have a tendency to bounce back a little bit. Let's just take a look at Calpine up here. It's up 4.64% today. And you can see that it closed down 3 days in a row. And then there is a reversal today. But back here is when the VPOC turned negative. That would have been a good short day, and every one of these rose-colored bars that I use in this chart indicates an opportunity to short. What happens is these stocks come back, or they sell off, and then they bounce back a little bit, and then when that low is taken out from the prior day to the downside or the previous day, that is a good position to short. Now, why did this bounce so much today? Well, you can see why it bounced, because earnings were reported today, probably before the market opened, so it's getting a bounce today. We have a stopping volume, VPA flag here. Volume is heavy, much heavier than the prior days, as you can see, but it's off of its high. There is clearly a downtrend here. Let's look at these numbers. The EPS rank before today was a 3. The relative strength rank was a 6. The group rank was a 9. And you can see the group has been poor, but it's bouncing. It bounced yesterday, and it looks like it's bouncing a little bit today. So let's take a longer term look at this particular stock. I'll just click on alternate 2. And you can see that it's been in a long-term downtrend. It's just been bouncing back and forth between support and resistance. Now, in this particular rose bar here, you would not have shorted that because it didn't continue down below support, and then it bounced back. This was a good short here for a few days. And then it looked like it was going to go up again. Here's another rose bar, and right there would have been an entry point on that. So this is just the way this works. This is part of what I call my impulse reaction method of trading. What you do is you look for a trend to be established, a period of weakness, and then when it bounces back up, and if the low is taken out, then you want to get into a short position. Now this would not have been a good trade right here. Let's look at this a little closer. Because here it is right here, I believe. It depends. With a real tight stop, it wouldn't have been good, because here is the rose bar. You would have entered, a short could have been entered right here, but then it bounced back up and took out this area. If you have a tight stop, you'd have been stopped out. With a looser stop, it would have been a good trade for a few days. Now the green bars are just the opposite. They're a pullback from the high. The rose bars are a pullback from the low. Let me get this in. So this rose bar is generated because this is higher than that low. The green bar is generated because this is lower than the high. And that's just the way I've got this set up. So this is one way where you can look for trades. Let's take a look at one which is down considerably today. As you can see here that this broke down, this group broke down here. The VPOC went negative, and you don't have to wait for the impulse reaction signals. The VPOC is often a good signal. Now the VPOC is the volume point of control based over a 10-day period, and that's when the power goes from the bulls in the green area, to the pink area or the rose area where the bears are taking control. And then here's your bounce right here. There was no rose bar generated here because it moved up. Here's the rose bar. No rose bar generated up here, but a short would have been could have been taken below that, the low of this candle right here. As always, when you take a trade, you don't know what's going to happen, but you can put the odds in your favor if the stock is trending down. And these are the EMAs that I use right here. This was actually just bouncing around here. But when the VPOC turns negative and the group is going down as it was right here, that's an excellent place to short. You can also see that the force indexes up here at the top, they correspond to what is happening with the volume point of control. Now, in addition to using the top 50, you can use any of those smart groups. I'm going to just go ahead and delete this right now while I'm thinking about it. I always close everything but the designer when I want to delete a group because it deletes faster. Now, if you don't want to use the top 50 group inclusion report to the short side, you can look at any of these smart groups that I used. And I'm just going to go into Woodward and Brown here, and I'm going to the potential short sale stocks. These stocks are based upon the force index breaking down and poor fundamentals. And you can see that once again over here looking at the scorecard information, the EPS rank, the RS rank, the group rank, a lot of red numbers here. These are weak stocks. You can see that the force indexes are a solid red, which means that there has been selling pressure. Yes, these stocks will bounce when they get oversold, and you can see a lot of green in here today. The market's about 20 minutes from being closed today, and some have bounced, but you can see the medium-term trend is down on most of these, and most of them have a negative long-term trend down too, but we're seeing a few that the trend is turning up in the short term, and that's corresponding with the intraday one-day change where we're getting some green. But I'll just bring up a stock at random here. Don't know anything about it. And you can see that as I zoom out, that this stock has been in a downtrend. Once again, the dotted line represents the group, and these stocks generally follow what the group is doing. And it's just holding up a little bit today. By that I mean it's an inside day here. It's higher by 0.44%. Not very much. Not really a good example of a candidate, but you can find a lot of stocks and groups in here which are eligible for shorting. You can also look at the industry groups. You can go top down from that level. But I want to emphasize that I think you'll have better luck shorting if you get the group on your side, and if you get the group and the sector and the market on your side, the odds improve considerably. So those are just a couple of ideas for looking for shorts in HGSI. We've been in such a strong bull market lately that the odds have been on the long side, but as you can see, there are always opportunities for shorting too, and I'll probably be doing a webinar later this summer or into the fall, and we'll put some more emphasis on the short side, and especially with the impulse reaction method. Thank you for listening, and that's it for this video.